How are you doing with all this shifting energy? April 2022 is a month of transition, and this is the full moon for April 16th update for you. Now, emotions can be high because they always can be high with a full moon, and it doesn't mean bad emotions, but just even a little bit anxious about what's coming next, or a little excited, or it depends on how you might be feeling something that's weighing heavy on you as well. I want to remind you, with all the transition that we're in, that things are going to settle out as we come into May. We even have a solar eclipse at the end of the month. So I want you to relax from the pressure of having to figure something out, knowing what's next, doing it now, and just keep opening up to being present with the shifts and the changes that are happening. So this is incredibly mystical, magical full moon we have for you. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Prema, and welcome to Chart Your Path. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any of the updates. I put out videos a couple of times a week, and your support is so appreciated. And all the links are down below for all of my offerings, including the free alignment activation to help you to get aligned and align with your power from the inside out. The full moon in Libra on April 16th is in the nakshatra of Chittra. Now, this is just has this really mystical, magical nature to it. And the universe is really asking us with this full moon to get creative, to get artistic, with your business, with your life, with whatever it is that you're working on, but also just sort of in that free flow, because in the free flow of creativity, of beauty, I mean, that's divinity in itself. And there's a lot that's going to drop in, because as ready as you are for what's next and what's birthing anew, this is part of the process in this, because of course on the new moon we set our intentions. It starts the lunar cycle for the next 30 days. We come to the full moon, and then we have the sun in Aries, we have the moon in Libra, and this is Vedic Astrology, the sidereal zodiac, and reflecting the moon, the consciousness, reflecting the light of the sun, the soul. And so we're in this halfway point in the cycle where we're coming into fruition before things wane and wind down into something new again. But that is a collective theme we have going on with this month in general, with all the transitions, with the movement into Aries, with the nodes of the moon moving into Aries and Libra. And so now we have the sun and the moon with the lunar nodes. And so this is the first time we're experiencing this. And so this is just a whole new cycle of energy, and lunar nodes will be with us in this placement for the next year and a half. I will be bringing you a training on that very soon. So I want you to breathe, take it easy, just really ground into center. Don't be impatient with yourself, with what's shifting and sorting. If you want to know more about the transits for the whole month, you can check out my April 2022 update, and that'll bring you up to date on that. Now stay to the end, because I will be doing some soul questions for the full moon, so you can tune into what you're calling in, what you're releasing. So with this full moon in Chittra, which is again this reference for beauty and mysticism, and in fact they say it's the most mystical nakshatra there is. And so there's a lot of beauty and creativity on the surface, but deep below that there is mystery. There's the mystical is brewing there, and this is a time of great intuitive insights, like flashes of insight from the depths. So you're really going to want to take time for yourself, within the creativity, within the your meditation or your yoga, or being out in nature, or chanting, or whatever it is for you. This it's like lightning bolts of insight can drop in during this time. And I know you're probably waiting for some of those. I know I'm waiting for some of those. There's things that are there's question marks around, because so much is in transition. But if you'll really pay attention and really notice, things are shifting sort of one cog at a time into place. Now, the symbol is the gem, or a pearl, that represents the divine within. And if you think about a gem, it's created by putting things under pressure, or a pearl is created by that grain of sand, that irritant that develops the pearl. So there's this this is part of the energy of this potent full moon, and maybe what has been you've been under pressure with, or what has been sort of gnawing at you a bit, being able to come into a distillation during this time. Devastar is the deity, the celestial architect, the master of Maya, the master of magic, both, and that really represents prosperity, regenerative power, and our longevity. And Devastar is this deity, being literally the celestial architect of the universe. It's that power of crafting and carving, what it is, creating what it is that our hearts desire. You just want to make sure that whatever it is you are desiring, and desire isn't bad. We have 3 desire houses within our soul blueprint, within our chart. That's all our relationship houses. But that desire, you want to have it connected to your heart. That's why we'll ask those soul questions at the end of the recording. That'll help you drop in deeper with the desires of your heart. So there's a deep spiritual depth here. And keeping in mind that the sun is exalted where it is in Aries. So this is an extra strong sun and extra strong full moon because of that reflection of that. And the sun is with Rahu, the north node of the moon, the magician. And because the sun's there, we'll be shifting directions with the solar eclipse that's coming up on the 30th. Stay tuned. I will bring that update to you. And then with Ketu, the mystic, being with the moon, with this full moon, and it is a pink moon, that is causing us to, again, penetrate. The mystic wants to penetrate things deeply. Ketu does, wants to go deep into things, and is kind of detached. Actually, is very detached. In fact, the mystic, Ketu and Saturn, the great organizer, they're the 2 most spiritual planets because they're all about detachment. They're not about the world. They're here to remind us that this is all ephemeral. It is all passing. So they show us opportunities to detach, to let go of. But Ketu tends to bring that up by loss. So during this full moon too, that's why it's important for us to ask that releasing question. We're going to release. What are we letting go of? But because it's happening in Libra, and that's about relationships, and relationships are about compromise in many ways. And Libra is about balance, which is also about compromise. Okay, we're too weighted over here, so we have to give a little to balance things out. Makes it so that maybe we don't want to compromise as much in our relationships. That is a theme over the next year and a half that's going to be playing out. It's Libra, wherever Libra is in your chart in Vedic astrology is where it'll be. We can get more specific with that, but so this is kind of the start of that theme. So having said that, I want you to remember with any relational energy, anything coming up around relationships during this full moon, take a deep breath. Don't throw anything away too quickly. Give yourself some personal time so you can really drop in with yourself, with the divine, and have that moment of feeling very detached and unburdened by the world, so that if anything is up for you in a relationship, that you can have a different perspective once this full moon passes on that. So be careful to throw any relationships out during this full moon, okay? This is a great time for, stepping into that leadership. We've got that autonomy, that independence, that pioneering spirit of Aries, and the full moon, where we want to come together in Libra. So again, we're walking with this energy, dealing with this energy. But in order to do that, you have to do that from the center. You have to do that from within. I am hearing this so loud and clear again and again to remind you, and especially if you have a business, especially if you're working on a project or something in your career or whatever, or you're even waiting for that change in career, that okay, I want to start the new thing. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I want this to wrap up. Should I let go of that? Should I do that? Should I not do that? We are in transition. It is sorting out. It is going to become clear, especially after the solar eclipse on the 30th. Take a deep breath. Put your energy towards finishing up what's incomplete right now so that you have free space for what's new. With the Saturn aspect on this full moon, that's that organizer wanting us to work hard. So use that energy. Work at completion right now. And allow yourself to be excited about the new opportunities. Not time to commit yet. Let's let things become more clear after the shift of direction on the solar eclipse that we'll have. And that will be in Aries, and wherever Aries falls, whatever house that is in your chart is more of an indicator of where that new direction is going to be going. Okay, so we're going to ask a couple of deep soul questions here. So I want to invite you to take a deep breath. You may want to write something down. You can always pause this video in order to give yourself more time to answer the questions. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, put your hand on your heart. Whenever we come down into the heart, we bring that mind into the heart. We have that beautiful marriage of the soul and of the mind. And the mind's a beautiful tool, but we want it to follow the directions from your heart. So take a deep breath and let this question drop into your heart, just like I'm throwing a pebble into the pond of your heart. What is it that your soul is desiring for you, so wanting for you to call in, to bring into fruition on this full moon? Just take a deep breath with that, and whatever comes up for you. And then our second question is, again, ask this to your heart. Don't slip up into your head. What is it that your heart is wanting for you to release in order to make space for what's new? What is your heart asking you to release, to let go of, in order to make space for what you're calling in? Make a note of that. Feel free to share what's come up for you in the comments. I would love to hear what's come up for you today. What's this new direction that you're calling in? What are you being called to let go of? And if you are wanting some deeper direction, all the links to my readings are down below, and I do still have some appointments left for April. And if you're wanting deeper mentorship with me, if you really are wanting to birth what is new for you in your business, moving into project business in the world, and you know that you need to master the whole state of your being in order to do that, and you want to do it in a soul-sourced way based on your chart, based on your soul blueprint, then feel free to click the link below and book a call with me, and we'll talk about if you're a fit for the Solutionary Blueprint program. So much love to you. I appreciate you sharing this. I appreciate you subscribing if you haven't and hitting the bell notification, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.